have always been my true north, Mal.
I'll find my way back to you.
The Shadow and Bone Trilogy, also known as the Grisha Trilogy, is a young adult fantasy adventure series written by Leigh Bardugo, with the 3 books being Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. Leigh has written other books set in the same universe, such as the duologies King of Scars and Six of Crows, and various short stories. The trilogy was adapted into a Netflix series with Season 1 premiering in 2021. The cast is mostly made up of industry newcomers including Ben Barnes, Archie Renault, and Jessie May Lee. In the book trilogy, Malyen Oretsev is a gifted tracker, formed soldier, and the protagonist Alina Starkov's childhood best friend. He is 18 years old when the Shadow of Bones novels begin, and age 21 in the King of Scars duology. It's not known who his parents are, but Malyen is descended from Ilya Morozova, and distantly related to the Darkling and Bagra. Later on, he becomes a teacher at the Karamzin orphanage and marries Alina. Born in a settlement in Vostoba, it's presumed that Mal's family was lost in the border wars. Most of his childhood was spent in the Karamzin orphanage, run by Duke Karamzov, where he and Alina struck up a lifelong friendship. They hailed from the same village. They hailed from the same village and were inseparable during childhood. His tracking prowess was evident from a young age, when he would go on hunting trips with the men at the orphanage. Mal and Alina end up in the military and headed towards Poliznaya. However, he almost dies when the regiment tries to cross the Shadowfold, and Alina's latent powers are activated. It's then revealed that she's the Sun Summoner, and the pair are separated. In the next few months, Mal and a regiment of men travel to Fjorda, and almost all of them are killed, including 2 close friends. While suffering from survivor's guilt, Mal also realizes that he loves Alina, and can't imagine his life without her. Although penning his friend-turned-crush a heartfelt letter, he doesn't send it. Finally, Mal and Alina are reunited at the Little Palace during a winter fete, but he's upset that she didn't keep in touch with him while he was fighting. Unbeknownst to Mal, Alina's letters to him were intercepted by Genya and others. Following a heated argument, Mal leaves the Little Palace but tracks Alina when she's on the run from the dangerous Darkling. Once reunited, they confess their love for each other. Eventually, the Darklings catch up to Mal and Alina and enchain Mal. Despite initially promising Mal safety, the Darklings plan to execute him. However, his plans fail thanks to Alina breaking free and escaping with Mal. The 2 friends then sail across the sea to Novyi Zem. Mal makes friends amongst the ship's crew and arrives at Koftin with Alina, where they rent a room with the humble wages earned from working at a factory. One day, they return to their room to find the Darkling awaiting them. The duo are once again captured and led to the Darkling's ship. When the Darkling threatens Alina's life, Mal promises to track down an important object for him. After tracking the object, Mal and Alina again escape the Darkling's clutches with Tolia, Tamar, and Sturmhond. Crew members are injured and killed when the ship is attacked by Volkra. Mal and the rest of the survivors land in West Ravka, where Sturmhond reveals himself to be Nikolai Lantos, Prince of the Ravka, and proposes to Alina so they can unite the First and Second Armies. Mal objects and threatens the prince. The 3 of them then go to Osalta, where Alina seizes control of the Second Army to save her country. Mal and Alina once again grow apart when she becomes power-hungry. Osalta isn't a happy place for the tracker, with Mal seeing himself a little more than a court jester for the nobles, who can use him for his skills. Although Mal wants her to run away, Alina knows that she's responsible for protecting her country and refuses, which leads to the star-crossed lovers breaking up. Mal begins drinking heavily and also joins a fight club. Alina catches her rival, Zoya, kissing Mal during one of these fights, which he returns. The Darkling strikes again shortly afterwards, trapping Alina, Mal, and others in a chapel. Alina is injured after the fight, whereas Mal apologizes and gives her his blessing to marry Nikolai if that's what she wants. Mal later discovers that the Darkling is his great uncle, and that he himself is an amplifier. which means he must be willing to die for Alina. She, however, asks him not to give his life for her. Nevertheless, Mal sacrifices himself so that Alina can defeat the Darkling. Alina is left powerless after using the amplifier, but Tolia and Tamar miraculously bring Mal back to life with their skills, which is only possible because amplifiers have 2 lives. In this second life, Mal has lost his tracking skills. Following the Darkling's death, Mal and Alina are also presumed dead. They change names and marry before returning to Karamzin orphanage and rebuilding it with some help. The rest of their lives are spent running the orphanage under false names. Just a few close friends are aware of their true identities. In the books, Mal is a flawed but confident and deeply loyal character, willing to do practically anything for Alina. Despite being selfish at first, he matures in later books, and was even willing to step aside so that Alina and Nikolai could marry and join forces. Described as being brown-haired and blue-eyed, Mal is tall, handsome, and well-built, thanks to his stint in the army. He also has a compass tattoo on his back. The TV series is largely based on the fictional trilogy with some minor changes. In the Netflix adaptation, Malyen has brown eyes and black hair, but is a first army soldier and gifted tracker as in the books. Season 1 begins with Mal, who is stationed at a campsite. Malyen has brown eyes and black hair. Joining a fight club for some extra cash, when the Grisha and Second Army arrive, the soldiers disperse. Mal catches up with Alina and is told by his commander that he'll be stationed to Novokribursk while crossing the Shadow Fold. While in the fold, Mal and the rest are attacked by Volkra, and he sustains almost fatal injuries, but Alina helps save him. When she herself is attacked by Volkra, an explosion of light emerges from her body. In the second episode, Alina is revealed to be the legendary Sun Summoner and is taken away to the Little Palace. Now a Grisha, Alina is commanded by the Second Army, and the commander of the First Army is unconcerned when Mal insists that they follow her. Mal plans to follow her himself, but his friends Mikhail and Dubrov talk him out of it, claiming that Alina is safer in the Little Palace. If Mal left the army, he would also be considered a deserter and harshly punished, so he decides to stay. Weeks pass, and the letters Mal writes Alina receive no reply. The tracker's unit is now stationed at Chernast, so with his friends, he volunteers to lead a tracking party in exchange for a visit to the Little Palace. As in the books, several members of the tracking party, including Mikhail and Dubrov, are killed in an attack. Mal is shot in the shoulder and survives, but is unable to save his friends. Now on the way to Little Palace, Mal is ambushed by one of the guards. He manages to subdue her and flee the scene, but months pass before he sees Alina again. When he manages to track her down in Rivost, she accuses him of not replying to her letters, but Mal insists that he did. Mal also questions how long Alina knew she was a Grisha. She claims she cheated during the Grisha examiner test for fear of them being separated if they passed. The friends find refuge in a cave that evening, when Mal confesses to Alina that he's in love with her. The next morning, she treats his wounds and tracks down a mythical stag to use against General Kirigan. The duo find the stag, but Alina decides not to kill it, as she can claim its power without doing so. However, General Kirigan and his men arrive and wound the stag with an arrow. Mal also suffers an arrow to the abdomen, and Alina is presented with an ultimatum by the general. She kills the stag and lets Mal die, or she lets him kill the stag and heals Mal. Alina chooses to let the general kill the stag. The general then chains Mal up to the First Army's camp after healing his arrow wound. Mal promises the general that he'll kill him as soon as he can, and the general confesses that he read the letters Mal and Alina sent to each other. The next day, Mal frees himself from his shackles, escapes the camp, and sneaks onto a skiff headed to Novokribursk. In the last episode of Season 1, Mal hides below the skiff's deck. He's found by Inish Gaffa, and reveals that he plans to kill the general and save Alina. Mal and Inej make their move and shoot some of the general's guards, but are stopped by Ivan, who is working for the Darkling to keep Mal alive. Alina then stabs General Kirigan, and Mal tackles him overboard, distracting him long enough for the latter to be attacked by Volkra. Upon returning to the skiff, Mal finds Alina unconscious. Having been attacked by Ivan, she eventually wakes up, and the duo escape the fold with a few others. Mal assures Alina that they'll return and destroy the fold one day, and they board a ship traveling to Ketterdam. Thus marking the end of Season 1, Mal is still alive and will appear in Season 2. In the Netflix adaptation of the series, Mal is nowhere near as selfish or cocky. He's a much more compliant and mature character who obeys orders despite being scared at times. Born in November 1998 in Kingston upon Thames, England, Archie Renault is the show's male protagonist, and worked as a model before his acting breakthrough. He has Anglo-Indian heritage on his mother's side, and was brought up alongside two sisters and a brother. After studying at Richard Challoner School, Archie trained at the Unseen Drama School in London, and quit his day job to pursue his acting career. His modeling gigs include shooting for Moss Bros, Topman, Nazir Mazar, and Gay Times magazine. He's also a regular at Men's Fashion Week. Archie's first acting credit came in 2017 with a role in the dystopian movie Zero. His TV debut was in Hannah, an Amazon Prime series, and he had a leading role in the BBC One series Gold Digger. Other roles include his portrayal of Alex in Voyagers and as Bobby in Morbius. In October 2019, his starring role in Shadow and Bones was announced by Netflix. After wrapping up Season 1, he had a role in the Amazon Prime comedy movie Catherine Called Birdie, and the Vietnam War film The Greatest Beer Run Ever. He's set to appear in Upgraded and The Other Zoe, among other productions. In June 2020, Archie and his girlfriend Annie announced on Instagram that they were expecting, and their daughter was born in October. But both parents do their best to bring her up in private without exposing her to their thousands of social media followers. Fans of Benjamin Francis Leftwich and Liv Dawson may also recognize this handsome actor, as he appeared in their music videos in 2016 and 2017 respectively. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.